The TTC has cut service to almost 40 routes starting today. The TTC says the move is being made to align service and demand. But one study suggests this approach to service will only impact marginalized communities most. 37 buses, streetcars, and subway routes are now experiencing changes as of today. The TTC says a majority of the service reductions and longer waits will take place during off-peak times. What that means for riders is longer wait times for 11 routes, though the TTC says customers on 24 other routes will see shorter wait times in some periods of the day.
The majority of these routes that will experience at least 10% of increase in wait times are going through neighborhoods where there are higher concentrations of poverty.
Wellesley Station.
A new report by Toronto Metropolitan University says 80% of routes where the cuts are being made run through neighborhoods with high unemployment rates and new immigrants, many of who rely on public transit for essential trips.
These marginalized communities that are located outside of downtown Toronto were already poorly serviced by TTC. Further reduction in service creates additional barrier to these people in terms of participating in employment, their social lives, and other everyday needs.
Mitra says the cuts to services are not in areas where transit ridership is high, but they are in areas that are home to people who rely on public transit daily and who will be impacted the most. Transit advocacy group TTC riders say cutting service and raising fares to fix the TTC budget shortfall is not the answer.
Yeah, cutting service and raising fares can lead to something that we call a transit death spiral. So we drive riders away and revenue goes down and we see further cuts. So what we really want to see is funding from the federal and provincial governments.
It really has like a domino effect in people's lives at the end of the day.
Exactly. I mean, the challenge is that the TTC is proposing to reduce their service frequency to address their operating budget shortfalls. But then if services are cut, fewer people will use public transit, creating rationale for another rounds of public transit service cuts.
The TTC says the move is expected to reduce operating costs by $50 million this year, as the Transit Commission forecasts ridership to increase to 75% of pre-pandemic levels by the end of 2023. The TTC says it will continue to monitor these changes and make adjustments if necessary. Now, the TTC riders groups will be protesting the changes tomorrow morning outside of Spadina Subway.